This is Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast. Did you guys see this? This is unbelievable. What is that all about, Kinger?
Get in here for the real thing. Like, let's get weird.
Maybe I blacked out trying to figure out what was going on.
Doubt, worry, fear, because that's what we're breaking the mold on here.
Welcome to Wild on 7th, presented by Pilot Games. We're here until it's here.
And welcome back to Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast, presented by Pilot Games. We appreciate the sponsorship and make sure when you are out celebrating your youth team tournament wins at the local establishments, you play their products, because when you do, your community wins. Kinger, speaking of communities winning, the Wild won last night.
It was awesome, actually. It was, we went through another stretch, what I would call a Timberwolves fans emerging on the group text stretch of hockey there. That was pretty rough. But seeing Brodin walk back into the building, the Flower getting 552 with a shutout, as only an artist would do. Yeah, yesterday kicked ass. Went home a little early from work. TV tray, tortilla soup, set it out, enjoyed it, savored it.
I tell you what, I think I actually liked the 5 o'clock start too.
Yeah, let's go.
I know.
Yeah, it was great. And you know what? They look like a different team. From the start, quick start, the power play was just firing biscuits, getting out of our own end. What a difference Brodin makes. Such a good skater, moving the puck. Foligno chipping in. I mean, it was good. And now it has been very bad. I mean, let's not ignore how I have a confession to make. I turned off the TV in that Arizona game. Never done that in the 3 years we've been doing that. I just turned it off.
You were like the guys on the ice. They just had enough.
And you know what you
shut
told
the doors,
us?
they turned it off?
You told us earlier, if you're going to get well, you got to go all the way down. You got to be laying on the bathroom floor, holding on to the bottom of the toilet. And that's where I was in that Arizona game. Something about Nick Bjugstad, wonderful guy, but getting a hat trick against us. Dumba. When you grow up in a traditional hockey market, you always think Arizona's just going to be bad forever. Even if they're not, it just seems like they're bad. Mm-hmm. And that was a tough one, but I'm happy we flipped it yesterday.
Well, I think you have to be careful too, because the Wild were good early under John Hines. And then they went on this stretch where they really weren't good, and there were injuries and plenty of excuses, and I think it's even beyond excuse. I think there's reasons why they struggled, but I think you have to be careful not to just say, okay, they've got Brodin back, they've got Kaprizov back, and then all of a sudden things are just going to be good. And one good game, things are just back to normal. Because you recall before Sweden and what ended up getting Evison, fired, losing his job, those guys were on the ice, and Brodin's great, absolutely yes. But what was encouraging about the game against the Islanders is that they absolutely smothered them on every level, and every guy wanted it, and every guy, I think, brought their role. They brought their best, and boy, confidence is a funny thing. And if you ask players about it too, it's amazing. You can't manufacture it. It just kind of comes. You get it. You try to manage it while you're feeling it. You cherish it. But at the same time, it's like it's just not something that you can come up with the snap of a finger. But somehow that closed door meeting gave those guys confidence.
So when was the closed door meeting?
So it's closed door, players only.
What day did
we got to break
happen?
this down. This is after the Arizona game.
Okay, so when I turned off the TV, they were having a closed door moment.
They turned off their TV too.
Yeah,
they went into the room, flipped their TV trays, and said, "We're a little too comfortable," or something to that extent.
Yep.
And it was 20 minutes.
Okay.
And the only reason I know this stuff, I was out of town, but there's no post game interviews. There were no intermission interviews. The guys were surly, but they were dealing with their issues before they were going to deal with their obligations, talking about their issues. And whatever was discussed, however it went down, what we saw in the game following that closed door meeting was instantly confident looking. You saw guys making the right plays. You saw them reading the ice, patience with the puck, not playing with fear, not afraid of a turnover.
Special teams look good.
Yeah, just
all the
clearly.
lines look good.
Everything was they were seeing it clearly, and pretty amazing whatever was said in those, because a lot of times those closed door meetings, and there were some before Dean Evison got fired. They had the same types of meetings, the same types of grabbing each other by the scruff and saying, let's go.
So I've never been in a closed door meeting. Give me the cliche version of what happens. Like, how many guys talk? Are people going at each other and like
Sometimes.
like arguing like an umpire and like shoving someone against like the wall, or like what would be kind of, if you had to give someone a general idea of what you think happens in a 20-minute closed door meeting, what do you think that?
Well, what's more intriguing to me is usually I think what happens is it's like it's rank and file. You fall into place. Your role as a rookie is speak when spoken to, and your job as a vet and as a leader is to say enough is enough, and to internally challenge and put your foot down. And I think that stuff is probably all said throughout intermissions and tough stretches of hockey, but there's something more passionate about it in those meetings, and it maybe resonates a little bit more. But I was fascinated because it's hard to, in my opinion, be a leader and have a voice, close the door, kind of rip the paint off some guys if you're not down there battling with them. So if you're Jared Spurgeon, you've been out. If you're Marcus Foligno, you've been out. Kaprizov, 1 game back. The only guy that consistently wears a letter would be Eriksson Ek, and that's only because the other guys are without letters and stuff too, right? But who ran it? Who was in there doing it? And whoever stepped up, and I through different things, I think Zuccarello was, but it's intriguing to me how it went down. But however it went down, it worked. And they came out, they played with confidence, and a lot of times those things that's just another step in the process. Just like you'll see before Dean got fired, you'll see Kalen Addison get traded. Management doesn't want to fire a coach, but they have their playbook, and it's, all right, well, the guys are a little bit comfortable. I'm going to make a small splash and see if that doesn't light a fire under them. Then I'm going to chew butt. Then it's this, then it's that, and then, it's your last option, new coach. And you play these cards. The Wild, the players, they played their cards, and they played the right one, came out and won a game that I think they absolutely needed to win, and not because it saves their place in the standings, because if they couldn't impose their will in the moments that they needed to, then I think the house would be made of cards and eventually tumble. But there's still hope.
What I like about a closed door meeting is it's a true moment where the team just says, it's just us. Whether it's marketing people or sales people or the GM or the coach or it's, at the end of the day, it's those 23 guys that are going to figure their way out of the darkness, right? So I think that's kind of cool that they have those moments where they just say, no one else comes in. This is a family, and we got to have some hard conversations.
Yeah, and I don't know, because a lot of times when you have those meetings, it's because the coaches are delivering messages and the team's not deserving or responding to the messages. So, you need leadership to slap the team in the face, so to speak, and say, hey, let's go. We're all on notice right now. But I don't think the team was lacking that kind of stuff. I think the effort for the most part was still there. The care was there. Just they didn't have full execution. They didn't have certain things, certainly no confidence. They were chasing it for a bit. And you look at the stretch of hockey where they couldn't score a goal. And you knew it was going to be tough for them without Kaprizov. I mean, we were on the podcast talking about it's going to be tough to score. 5-on-5, you're without Kaprizov, you're without Zuccarello, you don't have your 2 best puck-moving defensemen. How are you going to score? And I think guys started to try to find and play above themselves a little bit to generate some scoring, and it started to bite them. They turned the puck over, and then all of a sudden now their defensive game looks awful, giving up 21 goals in 4 games because they're chasing offense. And this was just like a hard reset where it's like, whoa, 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 let's get back to what we're good at. We've got our guys back. That doesn't mean that Brodin and Kirill are just going to go out there and we can just, plot our way through these games and win them. They still have to work. And it was all of a sudden 20 guys going out there working, playing a defensively sound game. It was the best. That game was the best stick work game that I have seen in a long time from any team. The Islanders didn't have anything. I saw Clutterbuck's comments post-game that they stunk, and I don't know how much the Islanders can be mad at themselves for stinking. The Wild were just that good, and it was an interesting, encouraging game. We'll just see if all of a sudden they can take this on the road, because it doesn't get easier as you go to Tampa and Florida.
No, and then Carolina is on a heater on Sunday. So I think we owe it to the fan base to just process. I don't think we can act like last night's game was the only game. So I'm going to take you through a few fan-related moments that you wouldn't be able to experience probably, because a lot of times you're on TV. So one of the worst parts of that losing streak, Bally's is running a Ron DeSantis ad all the time, which is just a dumpster fire. It's just a dumpster on fire for 30 seconds, and they don't change the footage. That's all it is. So you would be watching, and on streaming.
This is the streaming ad.
It's streaming, and it's on all the time. So every time there was a commercial break during that little losing streak, it would just be a dumpster on fire in between the breaks of the hockey. So that was bad. And then I did a bold move, though, Cart. So I got a fantasy hockey team, and called Tarps Off, appropriately. And I traded for Kaprizov on Saturday. I actually traded Sidney Crosby for Kaprizov. Not generally a great trade in the fantasy hockey market these days, but I'm betting on the Ox. I'm betting that the Russian machine gets stronger as the year goes on, and that we get a little hockey stick curve to the second half of the season. We're only halfway done. It feels like 5 seasons already. To me,
yes, it does to them too.
We've had 5 seasons.
It does to them too,
and it's like 40 games.
So let's talk about Kaprizov, because this was
blockbuster trade.
But let's not forget that this is his first year in a letter, and it's his first year that he's done a post-game interview with Bally.
Nailed it.
Yeah, it's his first year doing a lot of these things.
First year with a goatee,
and you could argue that's a couple years too late. You could.
Yeah, because he's not a young. He's got some years on him,
and he's still learning some of this stuff. But what I took out of that, and if you watch it, so he was the guy that went out there and spoke after the Arizona game. So he had his clips, and he had the interpreter with him. But there were times where he was comfortable speaking in English. And one of the times he was saying, listen, it's about fun. Like, you have to enjoy. And now I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he was just talking about, like, there has to be, like, a joy. Like, you
happy hockey.
Love playing hockey.
Well, you saw it last night
and
on his face.
I think that he wasn't loving it, and he recognized that. So he goes out and he just kind of says that, and you could see maybe a little bit of emotion come out of him and be like, this is the issue right now.
Let's have a good time.
We are playing hockey in the NHL. This is supposed to be fun, and we are on our 5th season of the year somehow. That doesn't make sense.
I don't know. It has been.
It doesn't make sense, but it does.
Well, imagine what it feels like for them.
But did he look like he was having fun? It looked like he was having fun
yesterday.
In the game.
Absolutely.
He's
when they showed
between
him
his legs, he's pulling up,
they
reverse
were hugging
hits.
each other. The hip pad was out. It's funny. Since I turned my television off, I missed that. But that's great to hear.
You would have had to watch the post-game show was like an hour. You would have had to watch like 60 minutes after. The post-game show was over.
It was too much. On the way in here, related, I heard Baker Mayfield just had this big playoff win yesterday, and he credits the Rams coach. He was on the Rams briefly, and I guess the Rams coach told him he was like basically burned out, going to leave the league. Everybody was placing all this pressure on him to be this like meat and potatoes leader. And so the thing that I liked from what the Rams coach told Baker, just have fun. Just go have fun. You're not having any fun. And he did. He credits that as his resurgence and basically gave him a second career in the NFL. So I think Kirill's saying that. Sad Kirill is horrible to look at. if he's not having fun, he's not playing well. You know, I mean,
That's everybody.
I know, but I mean, he loves hockey. And so, you know, when it's going good, I mean, he's a winner too, right? So, but yeah, I love that. I didn't know he said that. I think that's an interesting comment. It's unexpected to say, you know, got to be happy.
And there is a difference because what ends up happening when you give up 21 goals in 4 games is you're told about the plays you can't make. And what gets lost are the plays that you can make, you know, and the things that you can do. And that is fun when you're going out there and showing what you can do. And I think he did that last game versus not make plays. And for him, it started in the Philly game in Philly, where it was like cross the blue line, try to make 4 or 5 plays, turn it over. The game started to turn into what he can't do. You can't do this. You can't do that. You're a leader. You got to be this. You got to be that. And I'm hoping second half he just goes on a tear and he realizes this is fun, enjoys the game, and you see kind of vintage Kaprizov where it's just high battle level. You know, it's fun. He embraces the challenge, and he carries the team to what would be an improbable run to the playoffs.
He's stronger than an ox, and I think the league gets tired and he gets stronger. That was my bet. He just needs to be better than Sidney Crosby. So that's all I'm asking. I also liked seeing Billy's face yesterday. I don't know what it is, but there's some sort of, you know, Billy's been a big part of this, you know, build and all the decisions we've made, the pain and the joy. And I just think when I popped on the TV and he was on there and it was just a brief clip saying, you know, we got to be better. There's no excuses. I don't know. I felt that something about that had my stars aligned a little bit. You know, Brodin walking down the tunnel, Billy back on television. It started to feel like the Wild a little bit more. And they played the right way, obviously.
Like they're pulling themselves off the bathroom floor.
Yeah, I think there's been multiple stretches where lifelong hockey fans are texting me about Ant on the Timberwolves, and that is not a good text to receive. That means things are really not going.
The other good thing, though, about this in general is, like, look who had their fingerprints all over that game. If you're in a dark spot, you need your leaders to pull you out. Bill Guerin speaks for the first time. Kaprizov has a great game. Eriksson scores 2 goals. Foligno goes 1-1. Like the guys that
Flower
shutout. The big guys stood up and did it. Like they executed. And right from Flower making the first big save on Anders Lee, if he doesn't make that save, it might have been 6 rip Islanders. But he makes that save. He shows some spirit, and then it was like, all right, it's go time. And I just think that is great for the fan base, the club, everybody, that it was the leaders that pulled them out of this, because those guys needed that one too. But what do you think about, let's get back to Flower. I'm a little upset with the fan base.
Why? Because it didn't sell out, or did it sell out?
I just wanted Flowers to be thrown on the ice. Remember when he first showed up?
Everybody used to do it all the time. There was no Flowers on the ice?
There was no Flowers on the ice.
Lazy.
But maybe they're hard to find when it's -10 out.
Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe they're pricey.
Now, does your wife still work at the florist?
She does.
We've got to work something out where there's like, maybe the podcast has to buy a bouquet or 2 and we'll leave them in hidden spots around the rink and people can find him. And when he's out there, they just toss him on the ice after.
Yeah, well, he what a great guy he is. He's just a true, first of all, he's an artist on the ice, and he's a rink rat, and he's like charming. He's just like a charming gentleman that's a Hall of Fame hockey player. And a great teammate. He's just the nicest man. I don't know what to say. Every interaction I've ever had with this guy, which is about 3, he just seems like such a good dude. And you saw it last night. That crowd by the boards pulsating after the victory.
It was cool, the Fleury chants, too.
They just love him. They love him. How can you not? And congratulations to Marc-Andre Fleury on the big 5-5-2.
But we need bouquets, right? If this is last year, you want to be able to tell the story that you threw the last bouquet on the ice.
Yeah,
right?
552
Am I saying that word right, by the way? Is it bouquet?
It's bouquet.
Is it bouquet?
But I wouldn't make fun of you. I think having Flowers on the ice needs to come back. And so I think mid-season, I got 3 awards midseason, and it's not specific awards, but Marc-Andre Fleury helped us get through. Brock Faber helped us get through.
Kid's good.
And I think Matt Zuccarello helped us get through.
Marco Rossi.
Yeah, at the start, he's
But
cooled off. He's cooled
these
off.
unexpected heroes.
But if I had to pick a defenseman, a forward, and a goaltender that have helped keep the mortar work together on the drywall for this season, those are my 3 guys first half of the year. Would you have anybody different?
Okay, so give me your 3. It was Faber.
Faber, I got Zuki. I think he's an unexpected leader. I think he's just this crafty vet. He's scoring. He's been around. I know he was hurt for a little bit too, but then and then Flower. I just think Flower has been really
Flower's
important.
been the best player on the ice
really important in some dark days.
He's been the best player consistently on the ice from the time that he didn't get that pit game, was thrown to the Wolves in Boston. They won that game, then won 2, another one a week later against Boston. From that first game at TD Garden, he has been their best player.
Is your understanding
and their lightning rod?
He wanted to play the pit game because I think
I can't speak for him. No, and everything that he has said
that he doesn't like playing on the as the away team in pit, right? Hasn't he said that?
Don't know, and maybe he has said that in the past, but I think that there was an element of he perhaps knows, and now he's not said anything. I've not heard anything. But I think there was an element of him knowing that it was possibly the last chance that he was going to have to play in that building, and that place is special for him. And he didn't get that game, and then it just was set up to be like hard for him in the Boston game, where it's like, okay, so this is extra hard on me. I don't get this one. Now I get the tough matchup on the second of back-to-back against the league's best team. Like what are my options here? And it was, be a good teammate, be a good guy, come out here, bring my best. And I think it motivated him. I think he's been determined from that point on to achieve this. And let's go to his comments post-game. He actually does. I don't think he loves the attention. For a guy that's always in the limelight, I don't think he loves the attention. It was a relief for him to win this game so that he doesn't have to talk about it anymore. He doesn't want to have to talk about him chasing records. Now, I think he internally wants to achieve them, but he does not want to talk about that.
And he sure as hell doesn't want it to take a long time because, giving away a 3-1 lead. I mean, he was it was time. I
got to talk about the league doing him dirty too, though, quick.
Real quick, though, how about him rubbing the post mid-play?
Yeah, jeez.
I mean, the guy is he's Charlie Chaplin. He's so, flamboyant, and he's like a silent film actor playing in the NHL. I mean, it's just so fun. To do that, it's like a, I don't know, you're a performer. I mean, he's truly a performer,
So I think it was the NHL or the NHL Network maybe that had this photo of Fleury 552, like a graphic built on it.
Second all-time wins.
And I think they do him dirty because look at the team that's front and center.
The Blackhawks?
The Blackhawks. Of Marc-Andre Fleury's time in the NHL, would you say his identifiable jersey is the Blackhawks?
Yeah, well, it's tricky because they got him holding the cup.
But hidden in the back. You could barely see that. He should be Pittsburgh holding the cup front and center. It should be Vegas next to that. I get he's the in this photo, the biggest one in the background, I'll try to describe it, is Marc-Andre Fleury with a 552 and a wild sweater, but he's facing sideways. And then front row and center, it's weird. Chicago. Like his identifiable jersey, the image that you would have of Marc-Andre Fleury would be of that in the Chicago Blackhawks jersey. And then on the flanks of that one are Pittsburgh and Vegas. But for me, if that graphic screams Chicago Blackhawks more than it does any other jersey.
It's actually backwards, yeah. So it's
I don't get
Chicago 1, Wild 2, Vegas 3, Pittsburgh 4, based on that.
So for those of you that do believe that the lottery in the draft was rigged so that Chicago could get Bedard, this graphic will support your thoughts on the league wanting Chicago.
I think it might. That'd be like Joe Montana being on the Chiefs in the center of his graphic. And
yeah, or
Jordan on the Wizards.
Or when they're posting this graphic of the top 3 goaltenders all time, Waugh, in terms of wins, while Fleury and Brodeur would be in the St. Louis Blues jersey, one he wore for 7 games.
It
ain't right.
Did you have any other guys as we're midway through the season that you believe were, it hasn't been a great first half, but who are your kind of 3 stars of the first half?
Yeah, so I think, to be honest, I don't know that when you're in this spot, you can say the 3 stars. So I think I'll take a different route and say kind of the 3 unsung heroes a little bit.
Okay.
The guys that you got some good quality hockey and production from that you weren't anticipating a little bit. I think Dakota Mermis has been good, and he's earned a spot. But just above him would be Zach Bogosian. I think that he has been kind of a lightning rod on the back end a little bit. He wins battles. He's pretty confident with the puck, but he also makes good decisions. He knows when to hit a guy. He knows when to chirp, and he's just kind of done a lot of little things. And for a guy that was mostly out of the lineup in Tampa, and then for him to come in here, and it's not like I just think he's been good. And last game was another one where good spot, good stuff. And if this team does make a playoff run, it's going to be good for that group, like Dakota Mermis and Zach Bogosian and those guys to play stout defensively and kind of just change the look of that back end. So I think Bogosian's been good. I think Maroon has been good. Both those guys, the Tampa guys, have been like leaders in some regard.
Yeah, I expect their voices were heard in that closed door meeting as well. I mean, you can see that. There was that one game when it was like everybody was out of the lineup. And Patty was did he wear a letter ever, Maroon?
He had a letter. He had one game. I think it was the Columbus game with the Wild where he had a letter on.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because everybody else.
Because everyone was gone. I remember they interviewed, and I was just picturing
Maybe it was
Patty.
the game before Columbus because Zuccarello came back the Columbus game.
I was picturing Patty in the locker room like, I don't want to do a Pat Maroon voice because I'm kind of scared of him, but I just picture like the way he would explain things would be awesome. Like, hey, we this isn't good. We need to. I don't know. He has a Russian accent. I can't do it. I did it really well at one point. I got to find it again. You
know what else is funny? So I had exhibition games with the Wild where I would wear a letter, and I was like, hey, like to Bruce Cluckern, the photographer or something, be like, hey, just snap a lot of photos of this. So
yeah,
I can put this
all over your Wikipedia.
Exactly. Just put it everywhere.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Siri, who is the captain of the Wild?
Another guy I think has had somewhat of a sneaky good first half is Ryan Hartman. He's kind of been consistent. He's been able to score some goals.
Goal scorer, Hartsey.
Yeah. And a little bit of snarl to him. He's battled some stuff, but he over that stretch of tough hockey was the Wild's best forward, in my opinion. He kind of stuck with it, played his game. He tried to elevate. He brought it. I'd say that those guys, for me, kind of the identity guys, were impressive throughout that tough stretch.
I like how you just turned that on me, like a true closed door former player. Like, well, I don't know that I want to celebrate mediocrity with some 3 stars of the first half. What I would do is look for genuine, honest effort. I mean, that like just makes it seem like
it's just
like you just own me on that. Just like pulling some guys out of the shadows, Dakota Mermis.
No, but the other one is the young guys. And this has been talked about quite a bit lately in the media, is that the young guys, what's promising about this is that the younger players have had a chance to see all this, experience all of it, take on heavier workload, prove that they can do it. And, now all of a sudden, sky's kind of the limit. And I know I've touched on this before. Brock Faber's never played an American Hockey League game. He's learning on the fly. And to get this experience, to play 30 minutes, to do all of this, it's worth more than the 30 minutes that he's putting out there on the ice. Like, it's going to make him such a better defenseman for 10, 15 years. And the same is the case for Marco Rossi. Like, it's great for them to be in those spots.
A lot of talk about, the 3 Calder finalists, 2 of them being from the Wild. That's all over the internet. So with Rossi and Faber, and then some kid in Chicago. But no, that's good for the prospect pool too, to see Rossi kind of coming due, and then Faber's just been thrown into the fire. And it's only going to make them better.
So, talking prospects, are there any good snack prospects on the marketplace that maybe we should consider diving into in the new year? Maybe you have a resolution and you've said, I'm going to eat more vegetables. Is there anything that you'd like to couple those vegetables with?
Yeah, there is. So I think right now it's playoff football and you spend a lot of time vegging out, right? And so it's dip season, Ryan. It's deep dip season. A new year, same high quality ingredients. Jimmy's vegetable dips are made with wholesome ingredients. They use something called grade A sour cream. That's sour cream that wears a letter, like you did, a big A. Jimmy's uses the highest quality ingredients for all of their products. No cheap stuff, no alternatives. They hand peel their fresh ingredients in-house for maximum flavor and freshness. I'm actually going to go down there and watch this.
Put a hairnet on.
I think it's a bunch of like old ladies with hairnets on, just doing onions, garlic, and parsley. You can find it in the produce section. They got a dill dip. They got an original ranch dip, a smoky ranch dip, a spinach dip, and a fruit dip. So eat healthy, eat on the go with Jimmy's salad dressings and dips. It's dip season, folks. Don't you be messing with my dressing. So, is there anything that you would like to construct for the second half of the Wild season?
I'm just curious. In your Tuesday night league, have you ever had a primary assist? Because it always seems like you make the second pass.
No, I've had a primary assist. I have actually in the last month. I had a very nice.
D-zone.
I had like
took
an obvious assist and an obvious goal to the point where people were like, "You should get in a fight. You'd have a Gordie Howe hat trick." But that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to home, having confidence in it and its structural support and everything that you need to make sure that your home is in a good spot, if you need assistance and reassurances in that, you should look up our guys at wildconstructionmn.com. They specialize in storm damage, new roofs, siding, windows. They can fix anything, though. This time of year, a few more hands on deck because, roofing season is certainly behind us. So regardless of whatever project you have around your house, they can help you out. But if you happen to notice that the windows aren't performing well, that there's frost at the bottom, mold in certain spots, they can help you out. You can also go on their website and check if you're in one of those spots that had storm damage and you're just curious. They've got retail estimate tools and storm mapping resources to help you out. But now is the time to get your ducks in a row and take care of your home. Check out wildconstructionmn.com. They'll make it happen.
Well done. Should we get into our guests and who we got joining us here?
Yes. So this was fun.
This was great.
Everything about this story and these two is just terrific for the state of hockey. It's been therapy for me, for I think some of the girls in my house in terms of the hockey teams that they want to root for, support. And we're talking about two studs from the PWHL Team Minnesota, to which we think maybe someday will be referred to as
the
Purple Rain.
The Minnesota
Purple Rain.
Minnesota Rain. Yes. Taylor Heise, Grace Zumwinkle. Heise actually got the Wild on 7th bump. She went out and scored 2 highlight reel goals right after we did the pod.
Heise?
Yep. And Zumwinkle already had a hat trick coming in the home opener. And fan support's been great. I've been to 2 games. Home opener, 13,000 fans. And then they did about 9, I think, on Sunday matinee this past week. So it's fun, man. There's hitting, which is kind of weird, actually, because it seems like they're still figuring out how that's going to work. It's high skill. It's a great atmosphere. It's at the X. I don't know. I'm rooting for the P-Dub. And seeing all those kids, man, the young kids in the crowd, P-Dub fans like that scoreboard, Ryan. I think if you put on the scoreboard at a P-Dub game,
you're just talking
stand up
overall
and
dance.
if you just said
that's
run
like
up everyone run up the stairs one time on the scoreboard, I think everyone would leave their seats and do it. They're rule followers, and No, but I thought these two were studs on the pod. I mean, really fun, loose. We had a real good time with them. I hope they come back.
All right. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get to our guest. This is a great interview with that. Let's have a word from our friends at Aquarius Home Services, and maybe we'll couple that with a snack from our friends at Cub. Concerned about the quality of your water? Unveiling an exclusive offer from Aquarius Home Services, your ultimate solution to water concerns. Elevate your home with a remarkable 25% discount on the state-of-the-art whole home Kinetico water system. Whether it's city or well, Kinetico effortlessly banishes your water worries, transforming cleaning into a breeze and extending the lifespan of your appliances. Experience spotless dishes, softer clothes, and pure water at your fingertips. Don't miss out on this life-enhancing opportunity to enjoy the benefits of pristine water, all with an irresistible 25% off. Dive into a world of cleaner, purer living with Aquarius Home Services today. Aquarius believes in earning the right to be recommended. They're just a click away at aquariushomeservices.com.
Hey, Kurtz, you want it all in one convenient place? We get it, and we've got it too. With Cub Pickup and Delivery, pickup is always free. Or choose delivery with no hidden fees ever. Easier to shop, easier to save. Cub Pickup and Delivery. All perked up. My Cub, my way.
Channeling your inner director of hair and hygiene with the Tarps Off t-shirt pack on January 23rd. You've got to see it to believe it. Find your tickets now at wild.com/Midzy.
So this interview is sponsored by Duke Cannon. If your hair is a weapon, or you wish it was, you got to get some Duke Cannon products. The P-Dub knows it. There's lots of dudes that are fans of the P-Dub. They all got sweet salad, and they all use Duke Cannon. And we're here today with Taylor, Heise, and Grace Zumwinkle from Team Minnesota in the P-Dub. We don't know if people call it that.
We actually need a nickname for it. What is the
P-Dub is awesome. It is awesome.
We don't have a team name yet, but I mean, we were thinking Purple Rain kind of would have a little
REIGN.
Yes.
Yes, Queen. Yes, all that. Yes, that's the right name for this team.
We're
The
looking
team
at
name.
trademarks.
But the league needs the league also needs a nickname, right?
Yeah, could you weigh in? So we know that men shouldn't decide this. So we want to ask you two guys,
Gals.
girls. I'm off to a hot start.
Yeah.
So what do you think about referring the league as the P-Dub?
I like the P-Dub.
The P-Dub.
It comes off the tongue better.
Yeah,
So you
right?
guys are on board with P-Dub.
Yeah,
Yes.
P-Dub.
Nice.
We're gonna have to-
applause meter, please. Thank you.
We're going to have to come up with some more stuff too, like the NHL. It's an acronym for the Never Hungry League. There's always food around.
Yeah,
So we need to come up with what the PWHL stands for too.
I like that.
Something.
The
The AHL is the Always Hungry League. You know,
the Minnesota Reign's a great idea.
Yeah.
that is a good one. Did you guys come up with that?
We as a group were just kind of brainstorming.
That's above our pay, though, in terms of the decision making. So
I feel like you might have some influence.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
You know that my wife actually called me and had an idea for the team name for the P-Dub, and she said the Rain as well.
Really?
Because of the Prince thing.
Yes,
I think
purple.
purple is the color of royalty, I believe.
I would agree.
And then you got like Queen, like the crown, and like
That's
the
what I was thinking on the front of the
lady
jersey.
bosses. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lady Bossa.
Yeah, no, I think the Minnesota Reign, REIGN, don't sleep on that.
Like on our what our team has like a joke.
Oh, the mysteries.
We're the mysteries because no one knows what we are.
That's,
we don't
that's
get
what
to
you're
pick
calling.
a name.
You're calling yourselves the
That's what
Minnesota,
the
They
group
don't know
chat
the
name
name.
is.
That's the group chat.
That's the
yeah.
group chat
the
name.
Minnesota Mystery.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Nancy Drew.
Love that.
Hey, can I ask the first interview question?
Yeah.
Taylor, this is for you.
Okay.
Considering the torrid start that Grace is off to, do you think she should have been the first overall draft pick?
Honestly, yeah, probably.
No,
She's off to a hot start.
She's selling herself short.
I wanted to do that.
John's trying to take the rain right out of him right now.
I'm like, should I do this? The producer's like, yeah, just go for it. No, and you know what's funny? I didn't realize you guys all have your own individual goal songs. So I
Yeah,
thought Don't Stop Me Now was the team goal song. I'm like, this is the perfect choice. I write an article about it, and that's just your song.
Yeah, but then I found out someone else on the team has it too.
Oh, who?
Claire DeGeorge.
Oh gosh.
God.
So what are what are your songs?
Don't Stop Me Now.
By Queen.
Mine's X's by Tate McRae.
And does that play on the road or just at home?
Just at home. I think,
We're not quite sure.
yeah.
You're
I
big
can't
into
imagine you
Tate
celebrate
McRae.
goals on the road, but maybe. You know
I just
what I mean?
don't think they'd want to put the
visiting
Yeah,
teams.
they probably just do boo.
Yeah.
Something dumb.
So you have it's basically like walk-up music every time you score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
in
pretty
baseball.
cool.
Pretty cool.
And there's a couple of things that, and I'm not privy to all the rule changes or differences in your guys' game, but what are they? Is there one where, like, if you score shorthanded,
Power
Call it
plays
the
over.
jailbreak.
the jailbreak?
Yeah, I think the P-Dub just looked into trademarking that potentially. But yeah, if you score on the penalty kill, you can get your friend out of the box. Is what they call it.
That's a
Right out of
cool-
the sin bin.
Yeah.
That's good
we have
stuff.
We have a song for that. I think. I just don't.
I was in favor of Who Let the Dogs Out,
by the Baja Men.
but I don't think that got approved.
That was okay. Okay,
Are
you're
there-
sliding down back to your normal draft.
Are there
position.
other ones? Like, can you ice it on a penalty kill?
Yeah, when we were in Utica for a scrimmage fest, they were trying out different things. Our least favorite was far change in the first and the third instead of the second. So they were having that.
to increase goal scoring?
I guess,
Yes.
yeah. It's just very tiring.
Tough for D.
Yeah,
That's dirty.
long shifts.
That's dirty on the D.
Yeah, maybe you need to change it up. 3 lines in 8D. Who knows? But yeah, it is hard on the D.
Yeah.
Long change. But that is the way in the NHL. Second period goals against is highest for almost
Right.
every single team. And the long change, I think, gets credit for that. Any other differences?
They do allow some hitting more than normal on the boards.
Which is kind of awesome, actually.
There's been some interesting hits recently.
In what way?
I just think not a lot of people have been ready for them, so it looks 10 times worse than it is. Like someone will hit someone and then they'll fly backwards, their head will hit the ice, smack,
Blindside hit.
They
blindside.
put the whistles
Like
away.
open ice? So
Yeah.
they're allowing it near the wall, but not an open
No,
ice?
yeah, no open ice.
Honestly, they've been kind of allowing that too. A little bit of everything, but yeah, on the wall you can get pretty dirty.
I like it.
Yeah.
This is good.
My
This is
daughter's
going to help
gonna
the
like
game.
this. So you guys might not know. I have 3 girls, and they all play. And my oldest one, she led the district in penalty minutes last year, and she's on her way to do it again this year.
Good stuff.
I don't know.
She settles scores in the handshake line.
She does
occasionally.
She's got a good memory when it comes to that stuff. She doesn't like being crossed.
That's a good way to think about it, though. Is she defense?
No, I try to tell her she should play D. She plays at the
Oh,
middle.
she plays for.
She plays the middle. Yeah. We've got problems.
Learned it from her father.
Oh gosh.
His dad did, not as he says. That's what she thinks, right?
Yes.
Let's go back to you guys in your playing careers. I'm curious. So, high school for both of you guys, and then right into college. Is it 18-year-old freshman kind of just like normal? Like the guy's route is junior hockey. Now you'll get a lot of 20-year-old freshmen. But 4 years, but 5 for both of you gals at college, right?
Yes.
And is that because of the coronavirus and then the bonus year? But how great is that to just have an extra year, though? Did you guys enjoy that?
It was unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't get to say they got to do 5 years in college, and college is amazing. So
Right.
super fun. Yeah.
It was more hockey than school, it seemed like. So,
The 5th year?
Yeah.
Like, what's that 5th year like?
I think I was in 2 online classes.
Just to say you were in school?
I was eligible, yes.
You were
awesome.
non-degree seeking, right? Yeah.
Really?
Non-degree.
But she's really smart, though. That's the thing.
That's
I'm
a
going to go back to
declaration?
school when I'm done, so I'm not selling myself too short. But I was like,
she's
I might as well enjoy the year.
Yeah. I did my master's, but it wasn't bad. So
You have a master's degree?
I'm finishing it here this next year, or I guess this next semester.
And kinesiology? Is that
That's my undergrad, kinesiology. Master's in sports,
Kinesiology?
I nailed that, by the way. And what's your master's?
sports management.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jeez.
nothing too crazy.
So
Not
you-
like finance or whatever. She's
Grace
got
of the
going.
finance?
Yeah, I like the numbers.
What did you call it? Non-seeking major?
Non-degree seeking.
Is that what you have on your social media?
Yeah, is that like a
your
declaration?
caption?
Is that what's on the degree?
No, I don't think my parents want me broadcasting that. So
They're hard workers from St. John's and St. Ben's. They know good education, your folks, I think. So tell us about what was it like Saturday? I mean, I was there. I got the chills just in the crowd, watching all these groups of youth teams, and it was pretty special. Is it, cliche to say that? Like, what was it like on the ice?
I think the first 10 minutes, I mean, it really was evident in our play. We were all
Nervous.
I think you would agree with that statement. But then after that, I think everyone just realized it was just a hockey game. So, but it was super exciting. The state definitely didn't disappoint.
Yeah, that was cool. What
So
about
we
you?
have like beef with Toronto, not really beef, but they say that they're like the, I guess, Providence of hockey or whatever, state, city, whatever. And I'm like, no, that's not it. But yeah, I think it was really fun. I enjoyed seeing all the little girls and their signs. Like that's sometimes the best part. She said more about, she goes, I didn't even look around who was there. I didn't see the signs.
She had
I'm
her
like,
game face on. She's getting ready to hit people.
Yeah, she's getting ready.
But I'm not a hitter,
dial.
so
Yeah, that's fine.
Smelling salts. I
no,
saw
those
like a
cause bloody noses.
do
Really?
they?
She has those. I like the smelling
Bloody
salts.
noses or the smelling salts?
The smelling salts
She has the bloody
cause the bloody noses.
Oh.
I saw coach panic signs. Do some of your players coach?
She coaches Benilde St. Margaret's.
Like head coach of the girls' high school team?
Associate head
Associate,
coach.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then we have Claire Budarak does Andover's high school.
And then
Lev.
some do goalie coaching off the side.
Either of you coach or help out programs?
No.
No. We'll like maybe show up here and there, but
Why give back, right?
we do get back.
Yeah, we drove to Buffalo the other day.
I'm just kidding. Okay. So you drove to Buffalo and did what, a clinic?
Yeah, we were on the ice for an hour and then did like a
There's
meet
like
and greet for an
65
hour.
kids on the ice with us. They just sent every group of kids that they had out there, and then we just ran a little practice and did a little meet and greet, and yeah, it was good.
I didn't get to see the celly on the first goal in what is going to be the Purple Rains era.
The rain.
That's sticking.
So, what was the goal like? What was the celebration like? Like, what I didn't see it. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, I was coming in. They had like flipped it out in the neutral zone, and I just kind of took it, and it was a 1-on-3. And I was just honestly trying to get a shot at-
1-on-3?
Yeah. From like I had one, they had 3. And then
Nice.
I just kind of drove it wide near the dot. And then I know Erin Frankel, she's been our goalie for a while, Team USA. So she's slightly shorter. So when you're going to shoot, she can get down to low blocker. So I just shot it up right by her ear. And I watched it go through the defensive stick, but I couldn't see it until I got around on the other side. But it had already popped out of the net. So I really didn't know that it went in until Kendall was driving around the net. And she's like, smaller than me, so her hands are up, and then she's grabbing me. Her like her head comes up to my shoulder, so she's like grabbing me like a child.
She jumps onto your
Yeah.
leg.
But no, yeah, it was super fun. But I'm just glad. Obviously, that was a bit nerve wracking too. I feel like there was a lot of build up for that game, especially being away. But it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Travel day after that was a little tough, but
Yeah. How does it work? Do you travel right after the game, or you go the next day? I suppose
we got up at 3 a.m. the next day and got on a flight at 6.
because you guys are flying
Commercial.
like a commercial flight, and I suppose you're at the mercy of their schedule.
Yeah, but we get the Delta Sky Miles, so
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
End of year vacation.
Absolutely.
There you go.
What's your current status? Are you platinum?
Gold.
Not bad.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, I was on my parents for a while, so I'm probably silver. Is that, yeah. But her parents are, we got on the flight at 6 a.m. and her parents were the first 2 in the first class.
Your dad's
already
in the
sipping
jump
their
seat?
drink.
Really?
Well, my mom travels a lot, so she gets free upgrades.
That's great.
Travel with Lori is what we've learned.
Yes.
That's a way to do it. Mm-hmm. Hat trick. Walk us through that. And those are the only 3 goals in the game, correct?
That's why you
Yes.
only heard her song. Yeah.
That's why I literally thought it was the team
Right.
goal song. So I have to like rewrite a whole new article. Thanks.
Sorry.
It's a pretty good song
We got to
for the
keep
team,
this
though.
bit going as long as possible. So don't pass up a shot, Grace.
I'm glad you liked the song, though.
I think it's a perfect song for like this era, this reign, one might say, of women's hockey. I also don't hate a celly where you kind of put the crown on or someone comes from behind you and puts the crown on.
But I don't think people would get what's going on.
I don't know. It depends on how well you do the skit.
That's
But
fair.
let's hear about this hat trick because it was awesome. It was all Zummy all the time on Saturday.
Electric.
Well, the first goal, it was just like a broken up play in the offensive zone, and I just kind of threw, according to our coach, a muffin on the net, and it was a backhand, and it just seemed to squeak in. So I was like, oh, I'll take it. And then the second goal, I was just circling. Oh, sorry.
Said
Cycling
you're
up.
not a hitter.
I'm not. I went one
just-
college season
just
without
Taylor.
0 penalty
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, you
Till the
Lady
last
Bang.
game.
Oh, you are the Lady Bing.
Yeah.
I was circling up high, and I just threw a shot on net. I don't even think got off the ice.
Yeah.
And then the last one was just an empty net. And
Fired that thing.
Yeah, he was like, if we're up by 2, he goes, you just got to shoot it down there. So I was like, I missed one, and then I was like, I'll just keep shooting.
So Panic didn't want you to have the hat trick, right?
She ripped. No, that's her thing. She said, I did it for Zum. I just ripped the post.
She
so that
hit the
could
post
have
on
it.
purpose.
That's what she told me.
So did she get the assist off the post, or because she got an assist on the play? I looked up the
yeah.
score sheet. She got an assist on your empty netter, I believe.
Oh, because it went
Yes.
from her to Lee to you.
Yes.
yeah.
But I think they
But
got the puck, and then they started skating back into the zone, and then we got it and went back. But I don't think it was off her post. that got
Okay,
her the
okay.
assist. That would be quite something if it.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this. It's a POP, not a pass off the pad. It's a pass off the post.
Yes.
That would be
She was
unreal.
selling still. It hit the post, and they're coming back in the zone. And Mira, our coach, is screaming at Kelly, get up, get up. Kelly's sitting there like this in the D zone,
Yeah.
trying to get someone's reaction.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was watching the whole thing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So what's it been for you gals? Because it seems like it's been like a roller coaster. Is the league gonna get off and going January 1, and then there's like a coaching change in the 11th hour. Like, where are you practicing? Where are you playing? Like, what was it like for you gals, the players? Like, was there always a belief that it's going to be going beginning of January? Did you know where you'd be playing? Like, what was it like for you guys?
I think it's a little different for us just because we came right out of college, and so we're on the younger side of the team, which, like, relatively to the NHL, we would be considered relatively old. Like, we're not 18-year-olds like Connor Bedard. But a lot of other girls have like played through various leagues leading up into this point. And so then when there was the draft in September, it was like, oh, this could actually become a reality. And so then it was like, if you got drafted by a team, that's where you were expected to go, not like, oh, I'm going to choose to go play in whatever city I want to. So like everything from the beginning has been tried to be as professional as possible. And I think as we saw that happen, then all the stuff leading up to it, the January 1st date became more of a reality than it had been before.
Pure chaos, though. I think a little bit coming out of like college. I ended up, you had a house, but like I did an Airbnb in Minneapolis because who knew where we were going to go. And that was kind of late. I feel like it was late September was the draft-ish. So it was, you weren't really sure where you were going. But after that, things started to settle in. But like we thought it was going to be January 1, but like you really didn't know.
Yeah.
And then we didn't know the cities until like July, I think, of like where it was going to be or like where you're going to play. And that just signified that it was going to be in the state. It didn't say what city, what rank, where you're going to be, or how big the rink was. So it was interesting, but it all panned out. It's all been really good. So it's just been a little bit of a chaos for the past few weeks, but we've been figuring it out.
So like there are some teammates that maybe are still staying at a hotel or something because
Just moved out like probably 5 days ago.
Yeah.
We got back from Boston. We had, after our first game, we had 3 girls that were in the hotel for like a month and a half. And then they just moved into like a little furnished place that they're going to have for like 5 months.
yeah, see that's what I think is underappreciated. You see the product on the ice, and you guys are good, and you commit to it, and you work at it. But then there's also the sacrifice off the ice. Like there's a lot of unknowns, and you have to go to the city, not knowing, or the state that the team is going to be playing, and not knowing the city, not knowing where you're going to live. How about teammates? Like there's 6 teams. Do you know most of the ladies in the league? Because you guys you play competitively against each other with Team USA or in other spots. Like, do you know most of the gals in the league?
Are you saying like no as in like
Okay,
I
and
know you or I'm
Yeah.
like friends with you?
Well, good question. Well, probably more no, like just know them, not friends with them. But you know what I mean? Like where you'd be friendly. I compete with other guys too, and when it's on the other team, you hate them, but then you see them at the bar and you have a drink or something. You're like, that's actually a cool dude, you know?
Yeah.
I would say since like Grace said, like us coming out of college, we have a little bit of a step down just since we didn't get to play against a lot of them. I feel like some of the older girls who have done like other professional leagues and have played against most of these girls who have tried to stay like some of them played in the
CWHL?
CWHL in Canada that folded in like 2017, 2018. Some girls played in that. So I feel like if you, like the older girls know more about like people, like we know people on the international stage and then people who came out of college. But other than that, we're not too versed in some people. Some people, I saw some people that I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But
Can
They're
we
here.
do a little game? This is a Wild podcast, so I think if we tell you a Wild player, and can you kind of tell us who the equivalent would be on your team?
Oh, this will be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Carts, let's go back and forth. So let's start with Hartman, okay? This is the guy, if he's on your team, you love him. All the other teams hate him. He can do a little bit of the rat stuff, can put the puck in the net. A lovable rat. Who would that be on the P-dub?
Lee. Or on our team?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
in,
On your
On your
team.
Okay,
team.
I was going to say, other teams I would have a lot of answers for, but most people wouldn't.
On our team,
Love them on your team. If they weren't on your team, you would hate them.
I wouldn't hate Lee, like as a person, she's great, but I think she's definitely one of our best defenders. Like you never want to play against her. Like her sticks, we call it, it's a mile long.
Stick
You can't
line.
ever get
She's
by
like
her.
the Chris
yeah.
Pronger.
Yeah, she's great.
I thought she was great on Saturday, too.
She did. She was really good. She stepped up for sure. But yeah, she's someone like, I wouldn't say I'd hate her on the other team, but I'd just be like, dude, I don't want to.
All right, who in the league is that person? Like Kachuk, Hartman, who's the one that?
I want to hear
Who's the Sean Avery, the number one?
Yeah, who's
disliked?
We
who's
call
the
each
villain?
other the like black cat golden retriever duo. Like I have more to say than she does. She's more nice about it. So I'm gonna hear.
Let's hear who is that person?
that's a tough one. I think Abby Rock's got to be up there because she's always like to stirring the pop. And then Emma Malte from
I was gonna say
Toronto.
she's coming on Wednesday,
Yeah.
or tomorrow, I guess.
She's a front runner.
And then Kristen O'Neill, we just played her on Montreal.
No shortage of. Oh, wait, let me think for a minute. Boom, boom, boom. Emma. So we're after Emma on Wednesday.
Who on your team is going to be the Eriksson X? So they're going to have
Yeah.
10 to 20 goals, but they're all going to come from the blue paint. They're going to get a lot of face washes.
Take a punishment. Go to the dirty areas.
They're going to have hair in their face after a lot of shifts. You know, go back, have to take the helmet off, little camera time on the bench. Like who?
Unheralded.
Yeah.
Tap's not like that, but she's really good in front of the net. Denisa finds her way in there. She's Denisa Karisova. She's like, oh, I just got a little.
A little roll.
R in there.
Roll AR.
We've been talking about people's last names and names because Suzanne
Tapping.
Tapani, they keep calling her Tapani
Yeah.
or Tapani, and she's like, that is not my last name. But Sue, I would say she is one of those gritty in front of the net, and then Denisa, she's from the Czech, so she likes to get in those dirty areas too.
All right. Jake Middleton is the folk hero. Big mustache. Harley does shirtless interviews. Only has black and white T-shirts in his closet. Who's the true beauty on the P-Dub team?
This
One
is
of a kind.
no-brainer.
No brainer.
Maggie Flaherty from UMD.
Maggie Flaherty.
She'll make you laugh no matter where you're at. She's a great time on the weekend. Like, is hilarious. Living her best life all the time.
Wow.
Constantly.
I have a new favorite player. No offense to
Yeah.
you.
What?
Noted Maggie Flaherty.
Yeah. Write it down.
How many goals does she have, Zummy? Not as many as you. Let's see.
only
She's gonna
been
put some-
2
She's gonna
games.
put some big hits out there too.
Yeah.
That's
All
the
right.
big
She's
thing.
like a Murph on the U.
Yes.
kinda.
Yes.
I've been thinking of her every time you said
Wait.
that. Like
The Murph is a legend. This girl at the U is like a lost
she's
Kachuk
crazy.
sister.
She is.
Like could be
She's
the
more
best.
of a Brad Marchand.
Yeah,
That's
could be
why
the
you say
best
his last
player in the
name.
world, but if you cross her wires, she might just take herself right out of the game.
If she could take 4 people out, I think it would be the other ref, and the last ref.
So if Grace is a golden retriever, I don't know what would be more of an elegant dog, but who's the Marc-Andre Fleury?
Yes.
Like the gentlewoman, like perfect poster child, like the person that you'd want your child to grow up to be like, but at the same
Or
time.
you would let them babysit your kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you'd
Which is a bit like Foligno too, like kind of the Eagle Scout.
I think I'd maybe say Kendall Coyne.
Kendall Coyne or Claire DeGeorge is.
Yeah.
They're very like
Mellow.
buttoned up.
Yeah.
do everything the right way.
Yeah.
Rarely are they unhinged. So that's where I feel like a lot of us are different than that.
Okay, who else do we need? What other archetype should we do? We've covered a lot of them. How about let's go Patty Maroon. Okay, so winner,
Bush
knows how to win, and also just tough. Like maybe shaves her legs with like a Bowie knife. Like I'm talking like cold tub, sauna, only cares about winning, hard ass. Who's a hard ass?
Kelly Panic.
Kelly Panic.
Yes, I can see that. All right, Kelly Panic. I like that. That's sweet. Okay. This is so helpful to get into the game, to know
The personality.
to know, what do they call it? Comp? This is the comp from the Wild on the P-Dub.
Right.
Okay, do we got another one?
Yeah, like who's sneaky good? Let's say like who's gonna be the Kirill Kaprizov, like the scorer good, but then also just doesn't want to have to talk to anybody about it.
Sue and Denisa.
Yeah.
I would say our foreigners, Sue and Denisa, like we kind of said before.
Or Michaela Kava.
Yeah. Well, she's foreign too. She's from Canada, so
It's not really.
not
foreign.
really, but it is. All three of them are very. I feel like Sue and Denisa don't feel comfortable speaking English all the time, so I feel like they're not good at sometimes not being flustered in a situation. So they like to stray from the interviews and stray from talking to other people. But they're great. Like they're on their prospective national teams. They're people that you got to watch out for, especially when we're playing them. So they're dirty for sure.
This might be one of you, but how about we'll finish with Brock Faber. So the young buck, half shield's a little too high, doesn't know what he doesn't know. America's favorite son. Who's that on your team? Who's everyone want to take home in the baby Bjorn from your games?
I feel like Zummy. I feel like that would be like I said, you're the golden retriever.
He was wearing my jersey last night.
Yes, he was.
That was yours?
Yes,
Yeah.
13.
So I messaged him because we went to Minnesota together, and I was like,
Do you guys know each other?
I know him. He talked to my friend one time. Like I knew him.
Like, talk to your friend. What does that mean?
Like they were talking for a little bit.
Okay.
You're revealing too many cards.
I'm not gonna reveal who it is, but I knew him because he was around us for a little bit. But
And
Nice man.
13, you were drafted 13 overall. Is that why you picked 13, or have you always been 13?
That number has one that I became to love that I used to hate. I was always number 12, and then someone else had it, so I just got
said-
13, and I've stuck with it.
that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, both of us.
Yeah.
And what number are you? You're 27?
I used to be 9, like high school, college.
Why'd you jump to 27?
Well, when I got cut from Olympic residency and I came back,
You didn't want him to know it was you?
no, yeah. But there was someone, I think Bozek had 9 to start there. So I was like, oh, you can just give me whatever. I had 23 before that, then got cut, and then I came back and they threw me 27. And I was like, you know what? We're going to stick with it.
2 and 7 add up.
That happens a lot where people are just like, this is now my new number.
But it is what it is.
We were talking in the locker room today, and I was like, I will always see you as a number 9. Like, whenever I see 27 on the board, I'm like, oh, who's that? Because I always think of her as 9. So it's like you have those
fair.
people that always revert back to their old.
Or you fit with that number.
Yeah.
Billy Guerin was 13 too, so you're in good company. And 13th overall pick is kind of, everyone does the birth year now. I think it's cool to be like, yeah, I was picked 13. I'm wearing 13.
That
then-
wasn't the significant.
And then you just work your way through the league, proving that you're better than everybody. And you keep going 13, drive by other teams and be like, yeah, 13?
here.
Really? You went by me twice? Deal with it.
So Taylor, how'd you get started in hockey? Because it's like a basketball family, right? And are you the lone gal?
Yes.
So but it's a basketball family
yeah.
in Lake City.
Yep.
Which is a basketball city, more or less.
Yeah, so my dad played, he grew up there and he played high school basketball there. They were state champs, I think once or twice. And
Shout
then,
out.
Yeah, shout out Tony Heise and the Lake City basketball team. I think that was in like 1990, but he then went to play in
He was
River
proud
Falls.
till he dated him.
Yeah, well, he's fine. Him and my mom met at River Falls and they both played basketball there. So then my brothers, when we grew up, we had 3 hoops in the front yard. And so each of us got a hoop and you had to make your free throws before you went in for dinner. And
Whoa.
there.
3 hoops in the. So is this a driveway situation,
Yeah.
a circular driveway?
it's like the shape of a half court basketball. Like,
Oh
it's-
my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's cement.
It's
Like,
like,
it's
I wonder
normal.
what our priority
So they
is.
didn't fight. Everybody had their own.
Everyone had their own, but then sometimes we'd play like knockout. We'd always be playing against each other. Someone would come in with a bruised lip or
And
a bruised ego.
15 cousins
yeah.
that were all like hoops players.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically growing up in like a McDonald
Yeah.
basketball camp.
Yeah, all the when we'd have family over, we would have breakfast at like 10, but you'd have to go to the gym before, and we'd play 5-on-5 as the whole family, like everyone going. And I'd usually miss that because I'd have skate in the morning, but it was
Do they
How
even
did you get into
like hockey?
so Lake City doesn't have it anymore. When I was a kid, when I was in first grade, one of my friends, his dad played AHL or something like. Or even, it could have even been beer league. And he just came to Lake City and was like, let's just try it out. Wanted his son to try it. And he just put like flyers in first graders' mailboxes. And I seemingly was in first grade at the time. So then we did outdoor hockey, and it was literally just a cattle shoot. Like you would have everyone in a line. You just throw 5 people out there. We play Wabasha, which was, no one knows where that is, but that's like next door to us. And tiny town too, probably like 3,000, maybe 2,000 people. we play Wednesday, we practice on Wednesdays and we play on Sundays. And if it wasn't good outside, you weren't playing.
So you were basically playing beer league when you were a kid.
At this, like I was 7 and 8. That's what I grew up
got
playing.
a chance.
You got a chance.
I've seen you out there.
I'm number 13.
I've seen you out there.
That's awesome. And that story is amazing about the letter and like the
Randomly.
pocket, like to join hockey. I mean, anybody out there running an association, I mean, the fact that a lot of it's just random, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you decided to play. Bring a friend is another thing
I brought my brothers
that
at that
works,
point, so
and-
they came with me.
Where's the basketball family stand on this now? Are they like, you're like, hey, did you watch my game last night? They're like, Timberwolves. Like, are they into hockey, or are they still just like, Taylor does that's what she's doing now. It's a phase.
Phase.
Like-
They thought when I was a kid it was going to be a phase. My parents were like laughing about it. They're like, yeah, go ahead, do what you need to do. We'll have Grandpa bring you. We'll bring the boys to basketball pretty much. But see, like I never really watched the Wild as a kid, probably until I was like 14 because basketball was always on our TV. I was a big Timberwolves fan. I still am now, but like we never had the NHL on. Like I people were like, oh, who's your favorite player you looked up to? And I was like,
Yeah,
just
Jake
kinda got
Gensel,
brought
by
there.
the way.
Yes,
Thanks a lot. Jeez.
I did
At
watch.
least he's from Minnesota.
Yeah. But yeah, no, my parents, since both my brothers are in college and they play college basketball, my parents kind of have to pick and choose. But yeah, like I just got off the phone with my dad. He goes, well, like we're skipping Nate's game for your game on Wednesday. So like show up, figure it out type of deal.
It's like, we want to hear your song.
Yeah. But yeah, they find their way around, and my grandparents are one of them's from Hudson and the other one's from Lake City, so they come up and they're here too. So I'm never at a game by myself. So I always have someone here, which is nice. My brothers are watched too.
Get that Tate McRae playing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Seriously.
God's sake.
Tell me what you know about tractor pulls.
Oh my goodness, that was my thing as a kid. I started hockey when I was 7 or 8, but tractor pulls were in my blood since I was like 3. We were like driving our mini tractors. My dad had them from when he was a kid.
Where did you get this from? This wasn't on Instagram. I must not have gone
It
far
is.
enough
I have
back.
a photo on Instagram about me when I'm a kid, and it has me on my tractor. I
So
have a
what
video
you
too,
would
I'll show you
pull?
after.
You would do tractor pulls?
Yeah, I have a video I'll show you after. But we would like have it's like a smaller tractor, and it'd pretty much in like weight class / like age group. So they're already doing that at the age of like 3 or 4, and we'd go to county fairs. My dad would bring us to all of them.
This is great.
It is. It's the redneck stuff that goes on in southern Minnesota. Like Zum would never have
Between
any
basketball
clue.
games.
Zum's at Breck, just like, I need a manicure.
She's like,
My wrist shot is off.
my dad. We would be racing up.
Can
and
we
down the
review my
driveway.
portfolio?
Yeah, with our little tractors, and once you'd hit the end, you come back, throw a rock in the back, continue, go down and back, throw another rock back there. Sometimes I'd pull my brothers. We'd see how far you could pull each
So
child.
I don't even really know what a tractor pull is. I'm also from the western suburbs. So is it like you're stuck in mud and you're trying to get
How come you say western suburbs now?
I'm from Edina.
There you go.
Right? Yeah.
I
Deal with
definitely
it.
feel right now.
So what do you what is a tractor pull?
So you have. I need to get.
Are you
service.
pulling something
Yes.
out of mud?
No, I'm like. I went to nationals. I got second.
I went to nationals.
You're in
I
a
got
gym,
second.
by the
Yes.
way.
What prepared you for the big moments? Well,
So like
tractor
this.
pulls.
Yeah, tractor pulls did. It needs to load, but
So what are you explain it to someone
so like
that doesn't
you
know.
have a little tractor in the front, and you're pulling weights in the back. And if you pull it to like a full pull, then you get to go again, and you continue until one person. Like that's me as a
You get
tractor.
more weight.
Oh, and it's a
And you
tractor
can't, like,
that you
spin out.
pedal.
Yes.
You
and
pedal.
Yes, you pedal it.
Your
Okay,
head.
so for people listening at home, this is not like a monster.
So if you
truck.
want your kids
this is
to
how
be
strong
great
your legs
skaters,
Yes, that's why I
Wow.
have big
Put
legs
them
now.
in-
I always say that.
put them into tractor pulls.
are. Tractor pulling, I mean,
literally
you
like-
got Bugsted's shooting school and tractor pull. If you do those two things, you're going to be in the P-dub at least.
Grace, now I feel like you've probably experienced this for most of your life. It's if things go in alphabetical order, you always have to wait your turn. Zumwinkle. I don't know that it'd be possible to have a last name further down the alphabetical list. But was that a struggle at all growing up?
Well, it was
Last
funny
name
when I
starts with
was
Z.
younger and before like White Pages was online, I looked into the phone book and I was like, why are we on the last page? And I asked my parents and they're like, sorry, sweetie. And I was like, it's easy to find though.
I think it's a great name.
I love that.
Zumwinkle,
I want my
Zummy?
name to be Zumwinkle.
So do you,
Zummy.
It doesn't get better.
so originally Chaska Chan.
They saved the best
back
for
in the day?
last.
Yes.
So Chaska Chan at one point had Jimmy Snuggerud and Grace Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle, Snuggerud, Zummy, Snuggy.
Yeah.
It's like hockey royalty, all in one little zip code. That's a hell of a name, Zumwinkle. You got to hyphenate that thing,
No, it's just the best.
That's gonna get
Leave
too
it.
long.
or just make the dude
Zumwinkle.
or whoever have your name. You know, it's a great name.
I don't know if my future husband will want that though.
You just put a
I
period
told
on
my
the
parents I
sentence.
want to marry someone who's further up in the alphabet, and they're like, "Well,
So
you
you can
can't
get there?
control that."
Yeah, I can. I pick who I marry.
So you're going. You're looking.
She's
sort
looking
of
for Anderson.
Yeah.
A's,
Yeah.
B's, and C's. All right, that's a good way to make decisions.
That's funny.
So Grace, tell us about your family, because you've got a competitive family too, right? Like your dad's a dude, dad of only daughters. That's an acronym, right?
Yes,
Okay, so where do you fall in line?
I'm the middle child, and our coach was joking today. He goes, "You're just the typical middle child," and I was like, "How can you tell?" And he's like, "I can just tell." And I was like, "I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
You should have burst into tears and just skated off the ice.
no, I try
would've
not to show the tears." But similar to Taylor, I actually started hockey because of a kindergarten class crush. He came to
His
school.
last name was Anderson?
No, it was R. It started with an R.
Oh, okay. That's still an upgrade.
Yeah,
Shout him out. Shout him out.
No, I don't need to give him a shout. We did have a few classes together at Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, full circle.
Yeah.
Was he a hockey player?
Yes, he
Is he
was.
still a hockey player?
No, not anymore. He lives in California.
Sadly.
But keep going. That's great. You got the start there.
Yeah, he had a flyer, and I was like, oh, I need to take that home to my parents. And so I brought the flyer home to my parents, and my dad was like, where is this coming from? Because no one in my family had played hockey. My dad was a football player in college, and my mom was a tennis player. So hockey was not really in our forte. But anyways, my dad went and signed me up, went and bought the $150 starter kit that you can like buy at the sports store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the night before the first practice, and I sat crying in my bed, and I was like, I don't want to go anymore. And my dad's like, we bought all this equipment, we're going. And my mom was like, oh, it's okay if you don't want to go. Like,
Lori.
and my dad was, no, we're going. And so we showed up to the rink, and all these NHL kids' sons were out there like skating laps, and I had never skated before. So I just held on to the boards and like didn't make it very far. And after the hour practice, I went off to the ice and I looked at my parents and I was like, I was the best one out there.
Oh.
And my parents were gonna be like, no, you weren't. But like, I was by far the worst one. And ever since that, like, it's just something I've always enjoyed.
Did you really think you were the best one?
I must have.
That's awesome. That's a great skill to have. That's awesome.
Great mentality.
Both started with flyers.
And what was girls hockey like? So I'm 40 now. You guys are early 20s, so like 16 years difference. But girls hockey was just kind of getting going when I was younger. In fact, when I was probably 10, 12 years old, it was still like ringette, I think. What was girls hockey like when you guys started playing? Like, was it every town had a team? Did you have to try to chase hockey around town? Like, what was it like? I mean, now it's. I feel like it's everywhere now.
We have different stories, I think, because we joke. Like, I used to play her in high school until their team started beating us by like 9 or 10, and then they had to drop out of playing us after that. She grew up in like I feel like the cities where there was a lot of opportunity. And for me, we didn't have even an A team in U12s. I started playing U12s when I was 10 because we didn't really have a U10 team. So I started playing U12s when I was 10, but we only had a B team. So we were playing some tough sisters of the poor kids down there. And like, I feel like my summer league, when I got to go and play with them in the summer, that was like my real season. So I feel like not everyone felt that way because summer hockey was kind of a joke for some other kids, but that
I
was
bet
my
you
real
rattled
season.
some of those people because when you have when you have a stud on one of the B teams because they don't have an A
People
team,
get mad.
They get mad.
People get mad.
Get mad.
Like my parents would like get bullied in the stands sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Grace, like what is it? Your shot that kind of defines your game? Would you say that? Like that's.
I would like to say so, but I feel like one point of emphasis is like I've always been like trying to evolve my game because it's like you see Jimmy Snuggerud and he can score from the blue line. Like I think he had 2 goals last night.
3.
Yeah.
No, but 2 from like
Yes,
just
yeah.
and it's like in girls hockey like that's just not possible. So I do like to shoot, but I've been trying to broaden my horizons.
Well, double down. Alex Ovechkin likes to shoot. He's doing pretty darn well.
Yeah, just one-timers.
In his office. Yeah.
Well, let's get Grace's office there out there.
That is her office right there too. The one-timer side.
Big one timer. Like it was high school. I think I saw a stat. Maybe you had like an 80-mile-an-hour shot in high school.
Yeah.
Where are we at now?
I feel like it's maybe up 1 or 2, not much faster.
102.
No, not 102. I'm not at the NHL hardest
could.
shot contest.
Ally Afraidy.
Yeah. Point
I
is,
saw Boldy was 85, they said on the broadcast the other day, so you're in the NHL range.
dude, that was crazy. So that was Boldy with a one-timer that went in the net that was 85 miles an hour. And then the Chinnikov,
That
the
dude
Russian
has
kid,
got a scary
he
shot.
snapped his wrist. It was 97 mile an hour.
Can you imagine that, a 97-mile?
Wrister. Like a snapshot.
But that's abnormal.
Yeah.
He's got to have the hardest wrist
What
shot
team?
in the league.
Columbus.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Should we finish them
But
with...
no, but Grace, double down on that shot. Yeah, we can move on. But the Wild are looking for a score. Like, we need shooters, right, John? That's what we were talking about today.
Yeah, what about a crossover?
pride in that shot.
What about if we pulled someone from the P
Maybe you can start us and we can jump in for a drill or 2 at practice.
Teach them how to shoot.
Good grief.
No,
Hey, you know what I
take
want to
the
do?
backseat.
Carts, I want us to be shovel dudes at their
The
game.
quick trip shovel.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to go shovel at a P-Dub game.
I like it.
And we'll be like by your bench and you'll be like, what's up? And then like we do the autograph thing after, get a little Sharpie. I want to do a shovel if you would have us.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Yeah, talk to Quick Trip and all of your
Just
people.
2 of the ladies can set out for the day.
Yeah, I want to be that'll go over well. Ryan and John take 2 shovel people's jobs away. I think we finished with rapid fire just because it's weird.
We got to get to know them.
Yeah, let's go. So this is what we do with all the Wild guys. This is called rapid fire. We're going to go back and forth. Here's how this works. If you don't know your answer, just skip. It's more important to be fast
Okay.
than to be right.
But
And
don't feel pressured.
no.
Jo-
So
You guys aren't goalies.
So
Goalies
we'll
take a
do.
long time.
We'll go like. We'll do both of you and then to him and then back. So nickname.
Zum.
Heise,
First real job.
playing hockey.
Yes.
Coaching.
Yes.
Heise's your real name, you know. It's not a nickname.
But that's just.
That's like very
people call
P-Dub.
me.
But when it
Yeah,
ends
like,
in,
I don't have a
but when it
nickname.
Or her-
ends in Y, it works. Like
her-
I, E, or Y. All nicknames do.
Her
That's why it
nickname's
works.
Thighs, though.
She calls me.
Thighs. That's
It's like
amazing.
Tractor
T
pull?
highs.
Tractor pull.
No, not
The legs.
Like because T highs, thighs.
She likes coming up with nicknames for people.
I like
That's
that.
great. Hey, does the P-Dub trophy have a name or is it just called trophy?
People think it's going to be the Stanley Cup, but like the Stanley Cup that women drink out of, like, you know, like
water bottle.
The water bottle.
Oh, my
Stanley Cup.
goodness.
They want that as the thing. No,
Your
we
daughters would like that.
we have not. I don't know anything. about
Isabel Cup.
I don't
maybe?
know.
Okay. What's the weird? This is a question we were tired with the guys, but we'll try it with you. Weirdest thing in your overnight bag?
Licorice.
Really? Like
does.
when you
Like
do
I
road
always
trip?
have
Always
to have
has it
it.
because we're roommates.
See, that's how
normally.
this question's supposed to work. What do you got?
Like a noise machine or my fan noise on my phone. Have to have it, and she knows that 'cause she's my roommate normally.
Okay.
First concert.
Justin Timberlake. It was with you.
Really? That was the first one?
Yes.
Mine was the Jonas Brothers and Hannah Montana.
Nice.
What do you listen to in the car?
I would just say either like pop or country.
I would say pop or rap, probably.
What's your pet peeve?
People in my personal space, like normally around my mom will come up next to me and like talk in my ear, and I can't handle it. She knows it. Personal bubble space.
I would say at my house when people leave the dishes in the sink, or just like moodiness, like when someone's like moody.
You just like it even keeled.
Yes.
Golden retriever.
And you're a black cat?
Like a Black Panther / cat. Like
Oh,
there's a thing on-
jeez. Hey,
Down.
just
Not like any old
There's
cat.
a TikTok
like a
trend on
predator.
it, and I sent it to her. It's
Okay,
funny.
that was a pretty subtle upgrade. Okay, so where do you? It's your birthday. Where are you going to dinner? Around here, let's say.
Any spot?
Yeah, special night dinner.
Probably Spoon and Stable.
Okay.
That is good. There's a new steakhouse like Porzana.
Oh.
It's right there too. It's good. But I'm a big burger gal. Like I would love to have a burger the night before a game. That's like my ideal
Okay.
setting. So it kind of depends.
Best
on-
burger in the Twin Cities.
See, that's hard because I feel like I like the spots that some people don't. We were just talking about this. There's one on St. Thomas campus, and it's like underground. There's a bowling alley down there, and there's $1 bills taped all over.
The Nook.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
That's
I
a
like that.
legendary burger.
I like that place.
I think Parlor Burgers.
I heard this place Stepchild has a better burger than Parlor, some new place.
Oh,
I don't know if it's true.
What's your go-to post-game snack?
like after a meal, like it's like you're in your room. It's
Like post-game
A meal?
snack meal, like whatever. How do you eat after games? Like I always felt like it's the the freest time to just cheat. I just burned
It kind of
2,000
depends
calories.
because
I
if
eat
we
whatever I want.
get a meal, we kind of have to have that, but we always have treats in our room, like chocolate. I'm a big
Licorice.
she likes licorice. I like Sour Patch Kids, sour gummy worms. I usually have a sour gummy worm or two before the game.
And then what's on TV then? So you guys are eating licorice?
No, but I also I go to Starbucks for, but I always buy a pink cake pop for after, so I have something to look forward to after the game.
It's a little treat.
That's so good.
That's
Big
great.
cake pop in the back pocket. Don't sit down too
Yeah.
fast.
Her family, talk about Starbucks lovers. They should run the joint.
They're Delta Diamond. They're in the Sky Club. They
Cake
got a
pops.
Cake pot.
2 to 3 Starbucks a day.
No, you're giving my family a bad rap now.
No, I am a big.
Everybody
fan.
loves golden retrievers.
Yes.
Okay, last thing you binge watched, TV show, movie.
Suits.
Suits is great.
I also think that, but Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
It's a good one.
So I'm rewatching it again, honestly.
What's your guys' favorite road city or place that you've played?
I think LA is
Yeah,
fun because
LA
we
too.
stayed on the beach. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's there to complain about in the
What
sun?
did we ride? We did a
Oh.
slingshot. We rented a slingshot and we're driving down the beach.
Is that one of those 3-wheeled cars?
Yeah.
Yes, it was so fun.
Super fun?
And the single wheels in the back?
Yeah.
Yes.
gift card any store.
I'd say Lululemon, or you can't go wrong with a Visa.
Yeah, Visa gift card, which is just cash.
I would say Nike or Aritzia.
I don't know what Ritzia is to you.
It's,
Yeah, of course. I got daughters.
Yeah, me too.
The puffer jacket.
Okay.
Your favorite social follow, so who you enjoy following on social media the most?
I'm a huge Tate McRae fan, so I enjoy Tate McRae's content. Or people ripping her ex-boyfriend in the NHL. It's one or the other.
Who did she date in the
Cole
NHL?
Sillinger from the Blue Jackets.
Oh, the hat
He
trick
just
guy.
scored.
Yeah,
Three,
he
yeah.
just scored.
Sioux Falls Stampede. Represent. Tate McRae. I don't know a lot about Tate McRae. I might have to dig.
You just
in.
got to dig in and figure it out, yeah.
She has a brother that plays at Dartmouth.
Okay. Give me a sleeper Tate McRae track, like not like the hit, but like the one that the people that know.
I feel like her last album you have to like listen to and then figure out what like relates to you. Like I have a whole album of her stuff, but she has like a few older songs too that are like I can tell you what the cover looks like. There's like a
So let me ask you about this because I'll be on Sirius and Tate McRae will come on and then I'll see goalie pads like in the cover
Yes.
on the screen. I'm like, what is that?
I've remade that. I remade that at the draft.
That photo?
draft, yeah, in goalie pads and everything. I just need to find it.
Like
a
it's
lot of-
of you?
Yeah,
That needs to be on your Instagram. John has a gripe about your guys' Instagram.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an Instagram review.
I don't go on very often.
Yeah, there's,
He wants more.
More
John does his
content?
interview research on Instagram.
Well, maybe we should broaden his horizon.
Hey, who plays you in the movie? Actress. It's a movie about your life.
I'm not good at actresses.
I'm not either.
Well, not Moira.
No, not Moira. No one in that show. I don't think. I like the girl from Suits, the redhead, but she wouldn't. probably
Donna.
play- Yeah, Donna. But I wouldn't.
She's a boss.
She's a boss, and I think she's a queen, so I think that would be fun. Maybe you too, but yeah, I don't like remember people's names. I guess.
Minnesota Rain. How about you?
Purple.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Like, who do I like or who resembles me?
It could be
doesn't need to
resemblance.
be-
You could probably pick. Like, who would you want to be? Like, there's a funny
I think,
actress.
speaking of Suits, Harvey Specter.
Yeah, he's the best. 2 rules: don't quit.
You like
Number
that? You
two.
like that combo of like smart, confident.
Legally Blonde.
I don't know. Yeah, I do like that combo.
Yeah, like we'll outsmart you, but
He's a little confident, but he's
Yeah.
not like.
I just like that he never changes
But, like,
the
cool,
whole
too.
series.
No, he's
he
the
is
same.
just Harvey.
People are saying
Always
he's boring, but I'm
Harvey.
like he's.
No, there's
consistent.
no arc. He's just he's consistent, and he's great.
what's the go-to drink at the bar?
Hers is good. Yeah,
It's a dirty Shirley.
all the time for her.
I don't know what
It's a
that
Shirley
is.
Temple, so Sprite, grenadine, and vodka. But it's funny, during COVID, I turned 21, and my dad was like, oh, what do you want to drink? And I said, a dirty Shirley. And he's like, well, what's that? And so he went to 3 liquor stores to find
That's
grenadine.
great.
And yeah, my whole family had one.
A vodka cran for me, probably. Give a little spice it up a little bit.
So your Instagrams, okay?
Hers is better than mine.
So just here's the deal.
Don't take this.
So
personal.
we do research usually 10 to 15 minutes before our guests arrive. They're usually late, just like you guys were. And
We gave you the heads up.
I
though.
just didn't
That
have
was nice.
there was just not a lot. So basically, hockey, 4th of July, you might get on a boat. USA hockey. Taylor was a cat once for Halloween, and Grace likes to golf. That's like the last.
That's your
5
guys'
years.
life in the
Like,
last.
can you
5
like
years.
make a mistake or like do the Tate McRae covers?
Yeah.
Give
After
us
you
something
have-
to work
I feel like
with.
did
After
you
you
scroll
have
through?
2 dirty Shirleys, you have
Social
to
media-
post just like a be real. in
That's
that
right.
moment.
Social media is not a Wheaties box. Like, please give us more to work with next
find-
time.
Well, next time you can give us a heads up.
Pontoon on the 4th of July, hockey, USA hockey, and that's
No, golfing. That's
golf.
All
You got golf. She's got the cat for
Yeah.
Halloween, but that's all I had. I didn't go that far back. but-
Find. One of them, I swear I have a picture of me with my, when I was a kid from tractor pull. I just don't know. Where
Tractor pull's great. I didn't realize it's really a trike pull.
It
You're,
is.
I didn't realize it was about leg strength, child leg strength.
It's-
That's a
it's
pretty
starting
cool
them
thing.
young.
Toddlers, you got to figure it out.
And now you're strong. Now you're
Yeah.
you're a P-dub.
But before we get out of here, I have to ask this question. Like, for you gals, like, when was the moment like you knew you made it, or that it was like a wow, I'm good at hockey moment? Do you have something like that? You know, is it a hat trick in your first PWHL game? Was it freshman year of college? I scored on the best goaltender. You know, do you have a moment where you're like, wow, I actually am good at this game?
I think for me, it was after we hadn't gotten cut as kids. Like, we were always pretty good at the top, you know. But when I got cut from Olympic residency and then I kind of was on this low, I'm like, who am I? Like, I'm not really sure. I hadn't been cut before. That's like, I feel like a normal person's response. But I came back in that next year in college. She was obviously at the Olympics, but like, just kind of was able to find who I was as a player and kind of got to figure it out myself. And then, you know, did well and kind of been riding the confidence of that and kind of like knowing what a downfall is and like how to get out of it.
Oh man, I love that message too, because
Adversity.
what made you good was dealing with something that was bad.
That I thought was going to be the worst thing in my life, but like literally
out to
ended
be the
up
best.
to be the best thing for me.
Man, I love that perspective. How about you?
Grace is like, when we beat Red Wing 33-0, and then I went to Restoration Hardware
Yeah,
after.
this one game, I bought 2 cake pops, and
I had 4 Starbucks.
I was like, I better earn these.
I
so
had
I scored
7
6.
goals, 2 cake pops, and we went to Neiman Marcus.
No, I would just say I think like the first time I realized it was like when I made the Olympic team for the first time, I was like, oh, this is really cool and it's like something that you dream about, but like we obviously have different stories, or like she's made teams and I haven't, or vice versa. And I think it's in those times of like resiliency, or when you're down and you're like kind of what she mentioned of like, who am I and like what type of player I am. And it's like so many people have different opinions about you, but it's like if you go back to your core and is like, this is how I want to show up every single day, or like this is the person I want to be on a consistent basis, that's what matters in the long run.
So you guys
He is
played
a-
25 games. So I was looking at because I think Minnesota hockey fans are still kind of learning about the P-Dub. It all kind of came together fast. It looks like regular season's Jan 1 to May 5th or something like that, about 25 games. But then there's this break for international play. So there'll be a world championship in February,
Yeah, it's March.
and
Our
that's
pre-
Utica, right?
Yeah, pre-camp for that normally is like March 27th through like the 1st of first of April, and then Worlds is like April 3rd through the 14th.
And
then
that
you come
team
back.
is already picked?
No.
It's like the World Juniors where like they invite
Yeah, they
X
do
amount
like
of people.
35 to
Yeah.
get 23
Yeah.
or something.
We have a rivalry series coming up too, so they like help.
What?
That like helps.
Those have to be awesome.
So cool.
There's a game coming to the XL actually.
For
February
a
11th.
rivalry series?
Yeah,
Super Bowl
February
Sunday.
11th. February 11th?
Yeah, it's Super Bowl.
What are those like? Do you practice for like a week ahead of time and then you play? Like, how does it go?
So like this league built in international break. So it's like for the US people, like we'll go train with the US team and then there's like 3 games this instance where we'll play and then we'll go back to the professional team.
Sometimes it's like practice. We get 2 practices as a team, and then you go and you play a game. And then you get 1 practice, and then you play a game. And then you fly somewhere else, you have 1 practice, and then you play your 3rd game.
And then you come back to your professional team.
Not a lot
That's
of
so
practicing.
awesome.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a gloves off fight in women's hockey? Well, that happened. Like I was looking at the P-Dub and the hits are pretty significant, and like Canada and the U.S. don't like each other. Would there ever be like a straight up like?
I just think you'd get kicked out for too many games. People don't want to only have 24 games the way it is. I just feel like people wouldn't want to. I think people would say it. They would say it instead of like throw the gloves down.
And
Get
you'd
at
be
someone's
punching
character.
into a cage. So, like, that can't feel
Yeah.
good.
You would need like net.
It actually might feel better in the head.
Ryan knows. It would be cool to take the helmet off.
Yeah, cage moves a little.
Just give it to your friend. Here you go.
Yeah.
I would hold your helmet for you.
Thank you, because you wouldn't do it, so I wouldn't have to hold yours.
So speaking of that, I'm curious, like in men's hockey, you have hairstyles, you know, the mullet was popular and all of that. What's the go-to hairstyle in ladies hockey? Is it like while you're playing too? Is it like a
This
tight
is
pony, a
controversial.
braid?
Ponytail
is.
versus bun.
There's three.
I
There's
need to
three
know.
groups.
Oh, I don't know about the third group.
Ponytail, braid, bun.
Okay.
So you haven't really, I braid her hair before every game in practice. So she's normally done the braid, but I did ponytail. I did braid in high school, then I went to ponytail because people said the braid makes you look like you're 5 years old, which, whatever. You do what you want.
A hat trick, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. And then I did braid until I was like, I think junior in college, and then did a bun after that.
Bun's kind of
So,
Canadian.
so
though,
tell me
right?
what
It
the bun
is.
looks like. It's just in
like
the helmet?
this.
Like
So it's
this.
Yeah.
stuck in the helmet.
No, no.
Like right here below it.
Below.
It
bun
looks like,
below.
It
We
looks
used to
like
have a
Team
teammate,
Canada.
though, who used to put a high ponytail, and then the helmet would go over the ponytail. So, like, you only had a few loose strands down here.
That'd be so great if
But it'd
Yeah,
be
like
so
this.
painful.
Like
Yeah.
it just kind of hangs out the back.
okay.
It is Canadian. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think we got to go pony, like Yellowstone, like we're from
What-
the West.
My
So
hair's
how do
too
you hold
long.
the pony in though? I feel like you would almost need
Ponytail.
Ponytail.
like it just feels like you'd have to adjust it too often. Maybe you'd need like
Just a
one of
tight
those
one.
zip clips or something.
God.
You know, just get it tight and be like it's
I
not
don't think your
moving.
daughters would
Same
want
with
a
the
zip
bun.
tie in their hair.
No, they wouldn't want me cutting it out with scissors either.
No. Just a ponytail holds it in. You can.
And
after
it works.
the Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just fix it after the period if you want, I guess.
I
Yeah.
never thought of the braid as different than the pony.
It's
I guess
totally
it
different
is.
vibes, I feel like.
Do people ever do double braids?
No.
That's dusty.
That's dusty.
That would be
I
kinda-
have so many questions. I want to hang out here all day. Like, what is the language that's dusty? Man, I love this.
Yeah, is
It's
there a lot
more-
of talking on the ice?
Depends on who you're talking to.
Like, what are the chirps?
Like, some of the trips are like, oh, does your coach know you're out here? Like, but those
like,
aren't
who
that
are
funny.
you? Or like, I've never seen you. Who are you? Like, why are you out here?
Yeah, that's standard-ish.
Yeah.
Or
Like-
people go after like not even family. Like if you know someone and you've played them, you can do family, significant other.
But no, like physical
Really?
appearance or anything like that.
Oh yeah, that comes up. For some people, Rock is so good at it, and that's why I never hate playing against her because she's probably not going to chirp us more. She'll chirp other people more, but she comes at you pretty hard.
This is Abby Rock.
Yes.
Do you
So
respond,
she's like,
do you respond to chirps?
I usually just smile and hope that they hit me.
Do you?
No.
She'll.
You got nothing?
No, I literally just smile and don't say anything.
It kind of depends. If you're going to get under my skin, I might say a few things, but it kind of just depends.
what if you just did like a F bomb? Like
Grace,
just like
Grace,
Get away
I
from
think-
the ref. Be
I
like,
For
think
Grace,
it-
we've
yeah,
got
I think in
social
girls
media
hockey, that
training
would
and
be
chirp
like
back training.
if you just were like F you, I think like
Yeah.
that's shocking, maybe.
yeah, that's
Hey.
true.
We're gonna train Grace on chirping back, maybe Instagram posting, and for payment we will take pink cake pops.
Yeah, and we want to
That's
do
fine.
the shovel thing.
Yeah.
We'll
We want
do
a
the shovel, and after we're done, stuck on the boards by the Zamdor, there's 2 cake pops.
Yeah, how great would
You're
that be?
done, you get down.
I'll take your flavor request beforehand. Okay.
We gotta let you guys get out of here. We're gonna have to make this a regular thing.
Yeah, they were
I got
fun.
so much I need to learn.
Support the P-Dub, folks. It's not a novelty. Just because you went to the first game, this isn't the state fair.
One game doesn't
You don't
make a
go
season.
once and get a corn dog. You got to be here for these women. So, thanks for being here, Heise and Zummy, and Tractor Pulls.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And cake pops.
Yes.
Let's go.
There's the title of the episode.
Right there.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Taylor and Grace, two of the best from the PWHL team Minnesota. As it stands right now, Minnesota is leading the PWHL with 3-0-1 as their record. Leading the league in goals, our friend Grace Zumwinkle. Tied for second, Taylor Heise. And they too are right up on top of the list of point getters in the PWHL. So a lot to be excited about. Great interview, tractor pulls, like you name it. That was fun.
We good. Yeah, Zummy and Heise, right? What did they say? Her nickname is Thighs, T Heise, from pulling that tractor, and then they're beauties, and hockey players are hockey players, man. And these two, I'd love to, have a post game beer with either of them.
They're young too.
Great. Yeah, they're studs too.
What's the name of the drink? The Shirley.
Dirty Shirley.
Dirty Shirley.
Yeah, and Minnesota's really high skill. I have been to a couple of them, and they're really good. I don't know who drafted our team, if that was Darwitz or what, but she's got a nice squad. They're going to be hard to handle for people, and with that home ice advantage, with all those people coming to watch them, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool to see. I mean, it's cool to see it all come together. And again, even those two, I mean, nothing was promised. Like, they didn't know how it was going to go, when it was going to start. They just kind of are comfortable with the unknown. So give all the ladies playing in this league a lot of credit. Like, you're dealing with real life, and you've got to make choices. They're 24 years old, so they've got some time. But it's not easy to just sit in purgatory and say, like, maybe this league's going to happen. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'll have a job. Maybe I'll have a salary. But you put yourself in their shoes. That's not easy to do. But they're all in on hockey, and I couldn't be happier that they're getting rewarded with, one, the success that they're having on the ice, two, the attention that they're getting, and kudos to them for growing the game.
Yeah, all you hockey dads out there that pick the boys tournament out of town instead of your daughters because she's not going to play in the NHL. Well, she's got a chance to play in the P-Dub. So I think this is wonderful. It should have happened a long time ago, to be honest. We got to do a quick U10A. We had a unique circumstance. I got a text from both my brother, who's the coach of Hopkins Park, and Mr. Carter that they both they stubbed their toe in the semifinal game, and they ended up playing for third place, head-to-head, a King and a Carter on the bench. 8 a.m. start, Amsoil. Uncle John gets in the car, 6 a.m., drives up for the tilt. And White Bear won 7-2. There was a 5-minute major involved. But I have some notes on your team. Would you like to hear them?
Sure.
My favorite player is number 9, Avery Lehman.
Yep.
Because she waved at me during warm-ups.
She's the one that came over to the bench and was like, "Hey, Coach Ryan, your podcast partner's over there in the corner. What's he doing here?"
You talk about hockey happy, like Kirill wants to be. She just was smiling. I actually looked behind me because I waved back to her, but I thought like maybe her mom was behind me or something. So she is cool. I also noticed you're listed as an assistant coach, but you stand on the bench as if you're the head coach, which I thought was kind of disrespectful to Ryan Cienko.
Yeah.
You also have like 17 assistant coaches and didn't ask me or Guzzo to be an assistant.
We might have to figure that one out.
How do you have this many assistants and you never even consistent?
How many assistants
you have
are there?
Amber Ross, Jeff Rose, Billy Luger, Christopher Lehman, Ryan Carter, by the way, Brian Bailey. That is 6 assistants and a head. And a team manager.
We have co-head coaches,
There's 9
but I think
people on
Senko
here.
does the paperwork, so he always puts himself first. That's like,
Yeah, well, you're not listed as a head coach, but you took the alpha position on the standing on the bench. You're not a yeller at all, which was great. You don't say a peep. Also really like 20. Is she a first year, this little Kataska?
no.
Man, is she fun to watch. And then and your daughter is a stud, too. She had a very stadium series-like performance, I believe probably 2 or 3 points against Park. But congrats on the third place. It was pretty cool.
Well, and it was at Amsoil, so it's at
Yeah,
it was an out-of-town tournament in Duluth. We lost our game the Saturday night 5:00 in a bummer fashion. Minnetonka, we played the week before, beat them 3-0. They were motivated, came out, played hard. We had a 2-1 lead going into the third period, or I should say in the third period. 3 minutes to go, Tonka gets a breakaway, scores. Fun. Girls are excited. Well, Minnetonka girls are. Ours are a little bit of letdown. Coach Ryan calls a timeout, settled them down, bought us enough time to get to OT. And OT at this tournament was 3-on-3. So
You're built for that.
built for that, but it comes down to just like it did in the NHL. First face-off, you got to win that one. Minnetonka gets it. They
puck
come
possession.
down for a shot, boom, back of the net.
Night-night.
And then there was heartbreak. The girls rebounded though. I'm gonna be honest. They weren't super stoked to be playing in that third place game. They had their hearts set on championship, but it was nice that the third place was in Amsoil. They were in awe a little bit of the building, the sounds, everything else. That podcast John was willing to drive all the way up there and watch them. So
That was just great seeing her smiling face, waving at me like she knew me, and I'm like. She was just so genuine and just so, because you forget how young they are. You know, I coached that level as well. And I was telling you, I remembered it like in my memory, coaching that U10A team, District A champions, by the way, district champs. But I felt like I was like coaching a college team like through World War II.
Yeah.
And then when I see them on the ice, they're just little kids, man. Good players, but like they're super young. And so, yeah, that was cool. Hey, this trip, got to get 2 out of 3. Need 4 points minimum. It's going to be
that's
hard.
going to be the case from here on out.
I know.
You look at
Florida,
what they got to pass.
Florida, Tampa, Carolina, Murderers Row need 2 wins, not halvesies. 4 points minimum out of this road trip. So that's all I got.
It's not easy to do, but if they can just duplicate the effort they had against the Islanders, it's already over. Like everything about that was good. Good power play, good penalty kill, 5-on-5. Every line was good. Goaltender played great. If they could just do that every night, yeah, it'll be easy. But yeah, they're at a spot where they need 4 of every 6 points from here on out, if not better than that.
Well, let's get it. Let's get rolling. We're here.
Till it's here.